scare you. No one believes a single word you say. I like the way you think. Let's take this all the way. I'm tired of waiting, cause this feels like something. Whoa. Tell me I don't make it so. Ain't that just beautiful? Touching every green light. We can do this all night long. Give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest. Believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Come on. Why don't you try me? I thought this all your way. Stones in that water. Don't look down, it's further than you think. You got that style and grace. Tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but without a word, somehow you know. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light. We can do this all night long. Give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest. Believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Well, come on, believe me, I can't stop. I love somebody, ain't that just beautiful? Don't let that scare you. No one believes a single word you say. I like the way you think. Let's take this all the way. I'm tired of waiting, cause this feels like something. Whoa. Tell me I don't make it so. Ain't that just beautiful? Touching every green light. We can do this all night long. Give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest. Believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Come on. Why don't you try me? I thought this all your way. Stones in that water. Don't look down, it's further than you think. You got that style and grace. Tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but without a word, somehow you know. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light. We can do this all night long. Give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest. Believe you're the one You got that style and grace, tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but without a word, somehow you ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Like, give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest, believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Well, come on, believe me, I can't stop. I love somebody, ain't that just beautiful? Don't let that scare you. No one believes a single word you say. I like the way you think. Let's take this all the way. I'm tired of waiting, cause this feels like something. Tell me I don't make it so. Ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest, believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Come on. Why don't you try me? I throw this all your way. Stones in that water. Don't look down, it's further than you think. You got that style and grace, tongue-tied and stuttering. Calm down, I'm waiting. Let's run to someday, but without a word, somehow you ain't that just beautiful? Catching every green light, oh, we can do this all night long. Like, give me that heart if you want it to break. Let me be honest, believe you're the one in a million mistakes. Ain't that beautiful? Well, come on, believe me, I can't stop.
Oh, there she is.
Here she
There
is.
she is. There she is. Welcome back, Bex.
Welcome back, Bams.
I know, right? It's been a good few weeks since we've done this.
Hot minute, as they say.
It's been a hot minute. Yeah. Um. So episode 3 of the bitching hour.
Mm-hmm.
It has. I mean, have you fell out of routine at all, or are you still in with the rhythm of what we're gonna speak about?
Probably never really been in a routine, so it's alright, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you hear my small mouth apparently crank me up? Is that better?
She's been cranked up, so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that'll help. Um. But yeah. Yeah. You look very comfy tonight, Vex.
So do you.
I know, right? It's been really cold. It's been really cold, and I can't, I can't just sit here in like a nice top and stuff because I feel like, um,
Sounds
I
like a me issue.
I can
So,
hear her. She's coming through on the stream. I don't know if crank your volume up, please.
yeah. Yeah, so I don't typically get into my jammies straight away until maybe like bedtime. But, like you said, been cold. I think it was about 4 hours ago now. I was like, bugger this, I'm not wearing my jeans.
Ah, fuck this. No, definitely not. I'm in my comfies, baby.
These are some of the comfiest pajamas I've ever bought as well. And you were there when I got them. Were they from B&M?
Even from Home Bargains.
Bargain. Like 13 quid. It's like a little crop top.
Little
Um,
crop top and your
you've
little
got to be a little bit
shorties.
careful got to be a little bit careful if you put your arms up
Oh,
and you're not wearing a bra because you might
yeah,
get a bit outage.
it's not the
But it does
best.
tie up, and it's got some little shorts as well,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
feel all good.
Mm. But yeah, and you know what? There's something about comfy clothes. Comfy clothes can be sexy.
Hey, JD.
Hi, Jadey.
I agree. I mean, do you think maybe sexy for men or sexy for us feeling sexy?
I feel sexy in my snuddy. Like, who would not want a piece of this, right? In my little hood. Who wouldn't want a piece of
True.
this? Come at me.
Very true. I can't put my hood up because of the sheer
Yeah,
size of my headphones,
yeah, I've
but
just taken mine down anyway. That was really hard work trying to put that up. But yeah, just like I don't know, it feels cozy. Feels just like it's just I don't know, it's just nice, and it's not always like don't get me wrong, like I like wearing nice underwear and nice pajamas and stuff like that, but they're not always the comfiest, are they?
no. And I think sometimes some men like more to be left to the imagination. Sometimes as
Apparently,
well.
comfy clothes ain't sexy.
Well, we're not on about you.
Not on about
It's
you.
we're on about how we feel, and if we
Yeah,
feel
like
sexy, then that is the main
I
thing.
feel a little bit sexy sometimes when I'm in my comfies.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I'm not gonna say 100% of the time. It's only
No.
sometimes.
And
Um,
it depends. Like if you've been in your comfies for ages, had your heating wax up, and you're sweating like a bitch, then you're not going to feel sexy. But you've just got them on, some nice underwear underneath, you're
you just
trotting
like,
around. Or if you're wearing like a big jumper with no pants on, because I know that certain people find that sexy, and that's classed as comfy clothing. So, there we go.
yeah. And like you said, I'd never put my sexy clothes on to impress someone. Oh, my comfy clothes on to impress someone. No, I put my comfy clothes on months and months and months down the line to make myself feel sexy and to see if that person finds me sexy in my snuddy.
Exactly.
And if you
It,
don't,
it's all
it's
part.
fine.
Oh, exactly.
I found myself sexy in my snuddy, my sexy snuddy. Um, but yeah, so it's not important. It's just how we I don't know, it's how we feel in it. It's good to make yourself feel better. Like self-care, self-love, that's what's important most of the time.
100%.
But yeah. Anyway, on that note, I think we'll move on because that was just a little sort of a little something something. We do have a main topic for this week. Do you have an idea of what it is, Bex?
Open relationships, I believe, is what we were going to talk about today.
Yes, Queen.
And I will admit, not something that I am a major expert on. But I thought I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah, yeah. And I am not an expert on it. I have experienced it, but I'm not an expert on it. Um,
Hmm.
what what is your definition of what an open relationship is?
Well, firstly, I just want to say I believe this was actually suggested to us by one
It
of
it
our
was
viewers as
actually
well.
suggested to
So
us by one of our lovely followers.
yes, so if you are watching, thank you.
Hmm.
Um, my idea of it, and probably the reason that I could potentially never see myself being in one, is that one or both partners agree that they could have relations with other people whilst also having relations with each other. Um, but go on, you said you've experienced it. What capacity is it that you've
Um,
experienced it?
it was it was a long time ago, and that's why I'm not an expert because it
Mhm.
happened with my very, very first relationship that I ever had.
Okay.
So, um, the guy that I obviously was into and dating and stuff like that, um, a bit of a funny story, really. Traumatic and very, very slightly traumatic. But it was kind of forced upon me to have an open relationship. It was like, if you still want me, that's great, but you need to learn how to share.
Mm,
It was that sort of scenario. And it was like,
yeah,
I was that besotted with this person at the time that I was like, I will just take you as whatever.
go along with it.
I will just go along with it. It's fine. But yeah,
Mhm.
looking back, open relationships obviously are having more than one romantic or sexual partner at a time, and obviously
Mhm.
it's an arrangement that both partners or whatever
Yeah.
would agree on. That is what it's supposed to be. Obviously, in
Yes.
that circumstance, it wasn't really agreed. It was just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll just go with flow. Um, And obviously it's through respect and stuff like that, and that's what's important. But I think,
It's perfectly healthy if the two
yeah,
people are 100% comfortable and
100%.
happy with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't see how it would work. So, are you saying that we can go off and sleep with other people, but we come to bed together,
I
or
think you have to
do you
fully
do all
trust
of the
each other to do that. But I think
yeah?
if it works for both of you, you'd still have strong feelings for your primary partner, should we say?
Yeah.
Um, but you're
Yeah.
still gonna want to have sexual needs met by other people. All, you
Is
know,
that because you're not happy with one partner? Is that because you want to explore more? Is that
it
because
could be any reason. It could be, I want to
maybe your partner can't
explore.
perform?
Maybe it just be, I really enjoy this with you, but I would like to see what else is out there. But I still want to be with you, and you still want to be with me, but you want to see what's out there. And it's that conversation to have with your partner, and whether you both want to have that, but you've got to be completely truthful. You've got to be open with each other. If you're not going to be truthful, trustworthy, and stuff like that, and open about it, there's no point in going into it, because that's where it would then potentially lead to a road where you don't want to go down.
Think you could have as much trust as you want, but I still think that it can go wrong. So I know, and this is literally has popped into my head. I didn't even think about this before. When we were mentioning this
Mm.
as a topic, I know that this foursome, should I say, that frequent where I live, and I won't say where, I won't say where they go, I won't say who they are or what their names are. However, they're a married couple. They have been married for 40 odd years, I
Mm.
believe it was. And the male, he has a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and the female has had many boyfriends. They've agreed that's fine because the male can't perform. And due to illness, so he's said
Yeah.
to his wife, "I want you to still be sexually gratified by other men while you're out with them other men. I'll be with my girlfriend." And it's been working for them for numerous years. Recently, the wife of the male has left him for one of said boyfriends.
Well, shit.
Um, After I believe it was coming up to their wedding anniversary this weekend, and she is now left, moved in with somebody else, and left her husband for this man. So where it has worked fine for them for God knows how many years, let's
Mm.
say 10, 15 years, however long they've been doing it, it's still got to the point now where that trust has been broken
Yeah.
and that person is now left.
Y-
So, what are your thoughts on that? Why do you think that might have happened? I
That's
mean, obviously,
that's
there's a lot
where
of
it
reasons.
would lean into, obviously, being truthful and stuff like that. But
Mm.
people who end up going into an open relationship more than likely are going to be non-monogamous, should we say, and it has to be consensual.
Mm.
Um, if you go into it as there's no point in going into it if you're monogamous, because that means you want to be with just each other. It's like
Hmm.
it kind of leans into potential swingers and stuff like that, but that's completely different. People can swing but not want an open relationship.
Yeah,
Um, I feel a polyamorous relationship is more sustainable than an open one, and that's true, because polyamory
potentially,
is, you've got an extra person there, and you both love
or
that
more.
person,
Yeah.
or more than one person. You all feel the same about each other. It's more than just the two of you and stuff like that, and it's different. You have marriages out there where three people have gotten married to each
Polyamorous.
other,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. But that's not an open relationship.
No, I agree with those that a polyamorous one would be more sustainable,
Mm. Yeah, it would be.
because again, that's just trust between three people, and you are still within your little bubble of people, and
Exactly.
you're not introducing new people in. Going out,
Mm.
getting new people, potentially getting feelings for other people, which would then
Exactly.
potentially lead to that relationship
Like,
breakdown.
yeah, and the thing is, with open relationships, you've got to set boundaries. You've got
Hmm.
to kind of protect each other physically and emotionally. Because
Yeah.
by this point, obviously, if you're in a relationship, emotions have gotten involved, whether they're high, low, whatever, and you've been physical with each other and stuff like that. You've got to communicate with each other, and that's why you have to set those boundaries. Because if those boundaries are set and they're not met, that's a slippery slope then to that whole relationship just becoming
Yeah.
you're breaking up and whatever. But you've got to check in with them. If you say you're out there dating someone else or seeing someone else or whatever, and you're in this open relationship, you've still got to check in with your primary person about their needs, about their feelings. You're not just going to fuck them off and go and start shagging someone else, should we say?
No.
You're
No.
still going to want to be with that person. And that's why a lot of the time open relationships are not as popular anymore and not as um they don't work as much because in this day and age people aren't truthful most of the time.
True. And there's
Um
a lot easier ways to find people for casual sex as well, I feel.
exactly. You've
And
got
because it's easier to find and it's more sort of online,
mm,
it's less like, oh, I'm going out and maybe just sleeping with someone and then coming back. You've got that communication alleyway, that
mm,
whatever you call it, that's there
exactly.
forever. You know what I mean? I find it. I personally, yeah, I'm not a jealous person per se at all. You know, flirt with somebody else, talk to another woman, fine, as long as I know that you're coming on with me.
Mm,
But I could not be in an open relationship for the pure fact that I would absolutely hate the idea of my partner being intimate with somebody else, because that to me is like a fundamental part of a relationship. I
exactly.
don't know. Yeah,
No, and I
that's
get that. I do. I get it. And
I
it's
I'd go mental. But again, like you said, it wouldn't have been agreed. So
exactly. It wouldn't have been agreed.
mm,
Um, and yeah, so it's I don't know, it's one of them in the sense where it is a conversation for you to have with that person that you're with, to potentially expand. Like I said, mine was forced upon me when I was younger, and it was,
yeah,
how old was I? 17, just turned 18, I think. And it was like, absolutely besotted with this person, and I was in college, and it was my first love, should we say, and blah 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 and all that. And it goes down the slippery route of, um yeah, I still like you or I love you, and but I also like this other person.
hmm,
So I'm still happy to do stuff with you and stuff like that, but I want to see where this thing goes. So it's like
yeah.
I still want you on the side, basically, but I don't want you as my
That's
main.
what it is. And I'm thinking now, the open relationships as a concept back in the 60s, 70s, whatever.
Hmm.
I think it was way more of a thing, like free love and all that sort of stuff, and people didn't really mind as much. But I think nowadays, people, and I'm not just saying men, I'm saying people, men and women. Apologies for the cat, he won't leave me alone. Go away. Do you not think that some people may just use it as an excuse
To leave the
to
relationship.
not to leave a relationship, but to sort of have their cake and eat it as well?
Oh
To
yeah.
maybe string people along
The
a
thing
little
is,
bit, just to say, oh, I'm an open relationship type person, so I want to be with you, but I want to be with other people.
that
Is it the fact that
I
what are you doing?
the thing is with
Oh,
that
sorry.
though, it's I would respect that person so much more if they just sat you down and go, right, listen, I don't think us being together or whatever is working. I like you, blah 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 and all this, but um I think, it'd be better if we start seeing other people. I'd rather just break
Oh,
up
yeah, 100%.
in the nicest way
Yeah,
possible.
that person might still want you though, keep you on the
And that's
sidelines,
and that's great. If you want me, that's great, but I'm not going to be second best to anyone.
100%. But I think that's some of the dangers of um, potential, present open relationships. Is that
Exactly.
people may just be using that as a concept that isn't actually a concept for them. They're just
Exactly.
using that as an excuse to sleep with multiple people.
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm
And
not
it can
saying
come from
women.
both women and men as well. Like women can
Oh,
initiate it.
100%. Yeah, I'm not saying just men.
No, 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 of course. And women could initiate it. There are women out there, a lot of women who would probably want to just start sleeping with other people and stuff like that while they're still in a relationship. And, shit has happened and stuff like that. And everyone does shit. But just break up. Just if you don't want to be with and this is why my opinion on it is I would never do it again.
Yeah.
I've had my taste of it. I didn't like it. I know I was young and I know I was naive, but I wouldn't want to do it
May I
again.
ask, did you actually partake in the act of being in an open relationship, or were you more just, I'll let you do it, but I'll stay
Well, I mean,
monogamous with you? Just out
I
of curiosity, not
um
judging,
funnily enough, it wasn't until so
obviously.
basically it's really fucked up actually, my traumatic situation.
You don't
Um,
have to talk about it.
no, and
You know.
it's fine because it's weird. But so basically, this person that I was besotted with and blah 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 kind of came to me one day and was like, "Oh, you know this person that I've been seeing as well as you." Because I was young and I was just like, I'm not really interested in anyone, you know. But I just kind of like went to college, seen him, seen family, friends, whatever it was, and this guy just comes to me one day and goes, "This other person, I'm gonna propose to her. I want to marry her." I was like,
Oh,
"Great." That's fucking great. He takes me to go and pick the ring for the piercing.
oh no.
Um, and I was just like, great. And we went into the jewelers, and it was so awkward because the jeweler was like, "Oh, is this your fiance to be?" And blah blah blah. And I was like, "No, I've got fat fingers, love. She's skinny." Um, but you know, it was just
Girlfriend, but
I'm his girlfriend, but I'm not his girlfriend. I'm his
I'm
bit
not
on the
his
side.
fiance.
And then it got to that bit where obviously we were like, this needs to stop. Then obviously, if you love this person, you want to be with this person, that's fine. I need to get over you in my own way. Obviously, I could never get away from him because we went to college together and stuff like that. So that was a hard situation. Um, and then he ends up, you know, a few months down the line, um, ends up cheating on the person that he's engaged to with me.
Right. Okay.
and
Oh
it,
wow. Okay.
and it was a lot of dishonesty. There was a lot of lies on his side. Like I didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what was, and it was just it fucked. And I think that's
So
why.
he wasn't planning on being in an open marriage with this
No,
person. He
no,
was he was planning on being
no.
monogamous.
He wanted to be
Mono-
monogamous. Yeah.
monogamous with
Um,
this person.
and you know
That is
what?
mental.
It ends up a few years down the line or whatever. It ends up being found out there's a lot of health issues there, mentally, physically, and stuff like that. And that probably had a lot to play on it and why he was like the way
Definitely.
he was. Not gonna put my hands up and go, oh yeah, he wasn't a dickhead because he was.
Hmm.
But yeah, in that time, I was just like, yeah, you know, I'll just take it as it comes. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
nowadays, in the nice way
You know
possible,
yourself worth.
I know my self-worth. I'm not being
Yeah.
second best to any fucker. If you want
Hmm.
me, that's great. You want me. If you don't, just say it. Like
Yeah.
straightforward, abrupt. But you know, um, also, I'm too selfish to share, so
Same.
I'm not sharing any fucker. Sorry, you know I'm in it now. That's it. There's no getting out of it. I'm I'm in it. Do you know what
Not
I
like
mean?
I just yeah. The idea of it's like nah. If you mind, you mind.
You mind, you mind.
You know. And it's I'm not saying that like you can be seeing someone and you know
Yeah,
if I'm seeing someone and they've not made it official and they've slept with somebody else or whatever,
yeah,
then you can't
that's
really
different.
do much then.
Yeah, 100%. That's
Unless
different.
you know, it depends on the time scale you've been seeing someone and what
Exactly.
your agreements are and how close you are. But
Yeah.
unless you know, in that situation, that's different. I don't class that as an open
No, no, no.
relationship.
I
That
get it, and it also goes. I think it goes with your age as well. I mean, this is my opinion, but like, I'm nearly 29, and in the nicest way possible, I don't want to be fucking about in an open relationship. Like,
no, me
I've got a child. I've
same.
got other stuff to be thinking about and stuff like that. I don't want to be messing about with that. I would never
We'll have
initiate
one
one.
at once,
No.
like rather than can't
Oh yeah. I
can't.
mean, don't get me wrong. If we, both fell in love with some other person, and we were like, oh yeah, come and join the party. Let's fucking go. Um,
That
you
that
are
is that
stabilizers, remember?
stabilizes.
You're
The
not
daughter
really
child.
needed.
Not really needed, but it's useful to have me there sometimes, but not really needed.
Just stick kettle
Um,
on bags.
yeah, I'll never be a third wheel.
Never third
Stabilize.
wheel, just the
No.
stabilizers. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that was an off-stream conversation, so there's no
Sorry,
context
guys.
there for anyone who's watching, who doesn't know the context of that. But yeah, so yeah, all in all, I would never do it again. Um, and um, they're not the best thing, but if it's your type of thing, do it. Go for
Go
it
for it, yeah. And I'll
completely.
never
Not
ever
gonna shame it in the
discriminate for my child.
slightest. No.
Mhm.
But yeah, not my cup of tea, should we say? Um,
No, I drink coffee, so not for me. For that reason, I'm out.
I'm drinking coffee. Um, yeah. So yeah, you've never been in one. It looks like
I'm quite surprised for me as well, and I don't mean this to say that I was.
you were hell
I don't mean no. I meant in my younger days, I probably would have been a bit more
open about it.
open to the idea of it because I was a little bit more like, oh, whatever.
That's what I mean. When
But
you're
then
younger, you are more
then,
open to things like that.
then I got into my first ever relationship when I was 14,
Mm.
and I was with that person for 2.5, 3 years.
Hmm.
And I think from then, I have just constantly been
In a
in
relationship,
relationships, and I think because I'm so used to that, relationships are just my thing. Like I don't want to be,
you don't want to be like on
single
your
for
own. Yeah.
5 years, 10 years. I want to, find my person, and I'm
Yeah.
constantly sort of in that mindset of in my person, and my person is going to be my person. When I find them, they
Yeah.
will be my person. They'll be
And
nobody else.
it kind of links in with when you kind of like going off topic slightly of open relationships, but when you want to find your person, I always believe there's three types of love that you have.
Mhm.
And that first love is painful,
Oh yeah.
mistakes are made, shit happens, you absolutely adore each other, but you just know for a fact it's not going to work out.
Yep.
Um, and then you have, your second love, you potentially have kids together, or, you're together for a while. Um, and this is something I've actually seen
Well,
online on TikTok and stuff like that,
I think
and
you're just
like
adding
Reddit
more
and
into
stuff like
that.
that. And it's this person who, you love spending time with, and you kind of connect on a deeper level. And then potentially you have your third love, who's you never thought you'd ever be with someone like that, or you'd never thought that this person would ever come along. Um, and you just kind of you I don't know, you just get each other on a different level, if that makes sense. And
Hmm.
um it's a unexpected love, should we say. And everyone wants to find the third. I mean, not
Yeah.
necessarily everyone. Some people are better off alone, and that's absolutely fine
Well, I'm happy alone.
if that's your thing, you know what I
And
mean?
some people fall in love once and stay in love forever.
And stay there, yeah, and that's absolutely fine as well. It's just, what is potentially out there, and I don't know, and that has something to do with your open relationships as well, because you may be with this second person, should we say, but you may be like, this is not going to work out. We do have love for each other and stuff like that, but it's not working. It's not on the level of what I want it to be anymore. And you just end up falling out of love. And that's actually quite common, especially with younger people. Like the younger you are, I've noticed, it happens.
Again, this is going a bit off topic, but there's so much on TikTok at the minute of like when you sort of in a relationship very young, a very long term relationship, and you're sort of in like wifey mode, which is like what
Mm,
I consider me. I've
mm,
been in a relationship since I was like 18 with said person for 14 years. We've got a kid together. We've lived together. But a lot of people are saying that the people around my age now have broken up from those
mhm.
relationships, and it's like a really common thing at the moment. And I don't know why that is or what that is, but there's loads of TikToks about it, just like basically saying that people from my sort of generation have all done sort of similar things, and I
Yeah,
find it really strange.
yeah.
Sorry, cat jumping
And
off my hair.
you know what? I kind of relate with you on that one, because I always thought that I always thought I'd take after like my mum and dad, and
Same.
I always thought that I'd be older by the time I have my first child. I thought I'd be like mid-30s and I'd just have one kid, one or two kids or whatever. Like my mum and dad, like my dad's 11 years older than my mum. Like, and you know,
Older than my mum. Is that serious?
my my mum was obviously,
Seriously?
she was in her 30s by the time she'd had my younger sister and stuff like that, and she'd had me. My dad's in his 40s and stuff, and that's why I have older parents, and that's why, and I always thought that I'd be in my 30s, early 30s by the time I had a child, but it
Mm-hmm.
ended up being completely different. I was mid 20s by the time I'd had
Same.
my son, and I never thought that that would happen. I never thought that I'd find someone that I'd end up wanting a child with. Out
That
of
young.
all the random relationships that I had. Um, But yeah, it just kind of it goes to show that, you could be in one open relationship, you could date someone for a bit, see how that goes, potentially
Mm.
have those feelings there, but then not, and you want to see someone else, and then you could potentially find someone who you actually do want to be with. So it is a bit of a roller coaster, should we say? Um,
I think that's life, isn't it? It's like being dating in your 30s. It's ridiculous.
it's like
Like
I'm
trying to find someone who fits into everything that you want. It's impossible. And I know that that sounds horrible, but you've got to. And I'm not saying that you should settle, but I'm saying
no,
that you do need to become a little bit less of a not judgmental person, but you just kind of need to
bit
be a
more
bit like,
picky.
well, I have baggage. Other people are going to have baggage, and when I say baggage, I mean my daughter, and I don't mean that in a horrible way.
No, people have
But
baggage.
I have passed. I have things in my life that I'd have to bring into a relationship, and you can't really be as picky.
Yeah, it's very rare now that you would get someone either the same age or a little bit older, especially with this generation, that would not have children. And in the
And that's the
nicest
thing.
way possible, I probably wouldn't want to date someone with no kids at this age because, it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you've not had kids, you've not met the right person to have kids with, and that's absolutely fine. But I wouldn't want to go down that route because, you know,
Exactly.
if they're a dad or, or whatever, and they understand the way being a parent is.
See, I don't mind being with somebody who doesn't have kids, but my issue is I don't want any more kids.
Mm.
So to find a guy in their 30s, because most guys sort of grow up a little bit longer than girls. I know we've gone completely off topic now. So they might not have kids. So when they get to their 30s, they now want kids, and I'm like, I don't want kids. So what would I do? Would I have to
Yeah.
have children for this?
But
It's
the
like
thing
such a
is,
big thing.
yeah, I mean having kids, right, is completely different to being like stepmom, stepdad to children because they're not necessarily your, should we say, um
Excuse
um
me.
they're not
Well,
your responsibility 100% of the time. Like you may love and care for them like you're, you're part of their family and stuff like that as the
mm,
relationship grows and stuff like that and you see them. But
that's what you'd
um
hope.
as you'd hope, like people are different, but you may you kind of know, for a fact, my child is not your child. You may care about them and stuff like that, but they're not your responsibility 100% of the time. Like if I was to ask, you know, someone to look after my son, and in that way, it'd be like babysitting because it's not the cat. It's not it's not like looking after your own spawn. It's like you would be
No,
babysitting. Do you know what I mean? You would be looking after that somebody else's child.
and I like what Deuce Spot he said. I think settling is completely acceptable choice. The
Completely.
alternative is chasing perfection, which is potentially a dark and never-ending
Why would
path.
you want to
Because
chase perfection?
who
And
the fuck's
because
perfect?
and I'm gonna
Unless
go
you think you're perfect,
exactly.
nobody else can be.
Exactly, and I'll go really fucking cheesy, but like, I'm sorry, but if you find your person, you find how you feel about them and stuff like that. In a nice way, yeah, people are imperfect all the fucking time. Like, but you can be perfectly imperfect, and this sounds really
Oh,
fucking cheesy. And it's
who is
like,
that?
doesn't matter. Yeah, you may, I don't know, you may still have like little humps in the road and stuff like that, but that person's perfect for you, and they might not
Yeah.
be perfect for anyone else, but they're perfect for you. They might not understand that they're perfect for you, and they might think, "Oh no, I'm not. I'm far from this. I don't accept compliments." But you know, it's a different feeling, and that they may not reciprocate that, and that's absolutely fine because that comes with time. Um, but why would you want to chase a never-ending path of finding someone who's absolutely perfect in every fucking way?
And I think part of relationship, circling right back, open relationship or not, any relationship is about compromise. And I think if
100%.
you find this person perfect and the other person finds this person perfect, how boring would that be? You've got nothing to.
Not to
I
talk
think
about or
I'm not saying
improve
that you want
or
to argue. Yeah, exactly. You want to work on yourself. You want to find someone that makes you better.
you
You want to
yeah
find someone that improves you and you improve them, and together you improve each other's lives. If you're
exactly
both perfect, how do you do that? You
exactly
want to
and
get
like
somebody who brings something new to the party. You know what
exactly
I mean?
and you don't want to chase perfection and find this person at the end of the day and you're like, oh my god, there's nothing you could ever improve about yourself, you are just perfect in every bloody way. Like I know for a
Mm.
fact I'm not perfect. Like I do
God, Jesus
I
Christ, I'm not.
I I annoy people. I get on people's wick. Um, and there's little things that mannerisms that I probably have that annoy that said person and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. But you end up being with someone that they will accept you for those little things that you do.
I wasn't rolling my eyes at you, by the way. You know exactly
I
who I
didn't
was rolling my eyes at.
even. Oh yeah, I've just seen that. Um, kind of links into what I said. You're all perfect. Oh my God. But um, it's one of them. Why would you? Well, I always want to better myself. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of self-love and self-care, and I always want to better my own self. I always want to improve myself. But finding someone who not necessarily mentions it to you, but I wake up in the morning and go, you know what? I could be a bit healthier today because all I've done is snack on shite for the past week, and I want to make sure I'm in good nick for this person. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I do things like that. Um, any
I absolutely
flaws
love that, dude.
in
Thank
my
you. I love that.
personality are just texture to my character. That is a great fucking line.
Very
Like
profound.
that
I
is,
like that.
I like that. I like that. And
Mm.
what do we class as a flaw? Like, what is a flaw? Because what you may see as a flaw, you may not be flawed to someone else.
Somebody else may find it endearing.
Exactly. I'm going off topic. But
We completely are, but I think that's kind of what the bitching
I
hour is
know,
about
I know,
sometimes.
I
We're
know.
not really bitching about much.
We
We're
say this
just
all the time.
yeah.
Um, we're technically bitching about the fact that, some people like it, some people don't, and that's fine. But yeah, flaws in someone's personality, yeah, they make you who you are. Like, um, little things like for example, sometimes I can't get my bloody words out, and I just sound like I'm saying absolutely gobbledygook, and you've been
Yeah,
a witness to this, and it just gets to the point where you're just like, yeah, completely understand what you're saying, and then we just move on from it. It's not like,
or
oh
I
my
just
God,
like making
get
my
your
point.
words out, what are you doing, blah, 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 and just makes fun of you in that sense where it makes you feel like shit. There's
Yeah.
banter, and then there's just making you feel like you've fucked up.
I
And I
think
don't.
that could be a topic for our next podcast: platonic relationships, such as
Mm,
ours, and how they work. I think that'd be a good one.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Okay. Absolutely.
But yeah. So if anyone else has got anything to say on the topic that we've spoken about or anything else, if not, do you have anything else to say, Bex? I don't. Did not hear a
No,
word.
you do.
All right.
You do you, boo. But
You do you,
I
boo.
wouldn't. It's not for me. And
Mm,
I'm just not
exactly,
that. So.
exactly.
But if
Um,
anybody is one, let us know.
exactly, exactly. Um,
Tell us your experience.
yeah, email us some stories and we can read them out on the next podcast. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Um, get our first guest star to go through some of the stuff.
We do need a guest
We
star,
do need a
yes.
guest
Oh,
star. We've actually asked someone. I'm sure we have.
yes. Yes, we have. Pretty
Um,
sure.
but yeah. So our next topic for this evening is
King of the week.
kink. Yeah, and we've still. So it is the kink of the week because now obviously it links in with what should we say? What we find is an ick, should we say? But we're not really gonna go down that route. There we go. It was kind of misaligned. That was shite. But yeah, kink of the week. Now, you know what the kink is.
I do, but you picked it, so I'm
It's
gonna let
something
you roll
close to
with
my
it.
heart.
And mine.
And I never thought I'd ever share this with like the public. Um, it should be kink of the fortnight actually, but you know what?
But it's still a week, dude. Stop being pedantic.
It's fine. Stop being pedantic.
If it
Um,
seemed like a throat shaking again, I apologise. It is my cat.
um, King of the week, king of the fortnight, whatever it may be. And we're gonna go into a praise kink.
Hmm.
What is a praise kink? What do you think a praise kink is?
Why do you always ask me this? It's like you're the teacher and I'm the student. You just want me to.
No, I want
Um,
I want your opinion on what you think a praise kink is, and then I will give you mine.
I think it's not just about being like saying things like, "Oh, good girl," or blah blah blah. Like you see again a lot of that on TikTok. And a lot of it is done well, I would say, on TikTok. There's a lot of stuff that is, quite accurate and quite factual about it. But to me, I think it's a lot more deeper than that. It's
Mhm.
fundamental, and I'm so sorry. Go away. It's a fundamental feeling of liking getting praise for not just something sexual. It doesn't have to be. It can
Oh
be
yeah.
absolutely anything that you're doing in that person's life. You could have, you know, got them something. You could have done something for them, and they've said, "Oh, yeah, that's a good girl. I'm proud of you," or something along those lines. And it's not necessarily, "Oh God, I want to jump on them now." It's just that feeling of,
Yeah.
"Mm,
Gooiness,
mm,
just feeling a little bit good inside.
yeah,
And it is not, like you said, it's not necessarily hearing the typical, phrases, should we say, and like, oh,
mm,
good girl, and well done, babe, and things like that. It's like, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you right now. That's one of my favorite ones. Like, proud of you. Or you've done really well. Oh my God, that well done, and you know,
God, it
yeah.
sounds like we're children right now."
Or just little things like,
Thinking
oh, just little
psychological.
things like, oh, you look so pretty today. You know, any sort of praise or any sort of compliment, should we say, like you're doing such a good job and stuff like that, it just makes you feel a bit inside. And it's like even if you make someone a brew and they're like, oh my God, that was the best brew you've ever made me. I'm like, oh God, okay.
I think you've got a slightly stronger sort of affiliation for it than I do.
I do, 100%. I love being praised in any way.
I do, but maybe that's because I haven't experienced it as much or in a relationship, or partnership
In your
like that.
experience that you've had. No.
In my experience, I think for me it would be more sort of in the bedroom of things being said like that, where it would make me feel a bit like, oh. But I get where you're coming from. I still absolutely love it. I'm not saying necessarily it would go down the lines of a kink outside the bedroom for me. I don't know if that
No,
makes
no,
any
no. And
sense.
when the bedroom stuff links in with it, you're gonna enjoy, you know, sex with that person a lot more when your partner is vocal about it. Like, you know,
Yeah,
when
and
it
I get
when they,
the praise
praising you
being
and, saying
you want to
saying
hear they're
things.
having a good time.
Exactly. If you're not hearing anything, they're definitely not having a good time. Unless you're a
Not
silent
necessarily.
person.
Yeah, not
But
necessarily. And I think there are silent people out there, but no, tell me you're having a good time. Tell me I'm doing well. That's my
exactly.
praise king.
Tell me I'm doing well. Tell me that you're enjoying it. Tell me that, little things like, tell me that I'm enjoying it. Tell me that I'm enjoying it because I don't want to be asked. I want to, yeah, you are liking this right now. I want you to know me in that sense. Um, and that's where the praise king comes into and the different phrases that you can have. Like,
Yeah, the phrases definitely. I think and I keep mentioning TikTok. I'm obsessed at the minute. Just
oh
ignore
my
me on
God,
it.
yeah, no.
But I've stumbled onto like book talk and like audio book talk,
See,
with all the sounds, and I'm like, oh, I need to
a
get
little
into
bit of
some of
red
these audio.
thoughts right there. A little bit of red
Yeah.
thoughts. Hmm.
And I think that's exacerbating my
Yeah,
what's the
like
word?
just making
Affiliation
them.
for it. Discovering new things
Yeah,
in my 30s. So can't
exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like just letting that person know that, you know, you you know that I can't get my words out. Letting that
they don't
person.
know. We know they don't. We know.
I can't get my words out because I'm fumbling over my words because it gets me all hot and flustered.
Okay.
You
Getting thirsty.
hearing that person kind of praise you in the sense where you know exactly how to please them, or
Yeah.
like kind of hearing that you're really good at it or incredible and stuff like that, and
Yeah. I think
that
everybody has an element of that.
oh, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Psychologically, the praise kink comes from maybe not getting enough like affirmations or whatever.
Compliments,
Not
yeah.
necessarily compliments, or not necessarily in your childhood. It doesn't have to be related to
No,
like
just throughout your
childhood
life.
trauma or your parents or your family not
No.
not doing it. But even in your earliest relationship, you know, what you're used to in a relationship, and what you don't get in a relationship can then become something that you crave and something that you want. So when it happens in future relationships, you're a bit more like, oh my god, like this is what I've always wanted someone to sort of say to me, and that's where
Exactly.
you sort of become a little bit more.
You're a bit more alert to it, you're aware of it, and it's because not necessarily you have experienced it in the past, but you may not have picked up on it. Like, I not until, the last year or so where I've gone, well, actually, I actually like being told that, you know, um, I'm someone's proud of me, or it's not necessarily because I've lacked that throughout my life. It's just something. It's like you said, words of affirmation, just a nice little bit of, it's a little pick me up in the morning, and just like a little compliment. I don't go out there fishing for compliments, and I will not give compliments out easy to big someone's ego up for any
No,
sort of reason. If
I
I
struggle with
compliment you,
taking
I
it as a
compliment
compliment.
you. Just
Yeah.
just take it.
Yeah, when it comes to a male complimenting me, I do struggle to not accept it because I'm like, okay, you know, I appreciate you feel that way.
Uh-huh.
It's like, how do I respond to that? And I
Yeah.
know it's not part of the praise kink because, you know, with that you can just be a bit like, oh, you don't really need to say anything, but it is part of the praise kink receiving compliments, isn't it? And sometimes I just don't know how to respond. So I think that's something I need to get
Like,
better at.
I think it was, I don't know how many weeks ago now. I think it was last time, not last time, but one of the times that me and you have been out for a drink or whatever. And I think it was like we were at the pub, at the bar, getting a drink, and I think one of the older guys was like, we were talking about something, and I agreed with him on something. And I think I can't remember what it we were talking about, and he was like, "Add a girl," and I was just like, "Oh, it's nice. It's a nice little and that's a bit of praise, but that's not something that's gonna make me feel all moist, should we say? Um,
Good.
moist. Um, that's not gonna make me feel like that. It just makes me feel like, oh, I've done something right. I've made someone smile or made someone happy tonight, and it's just
There
that
is a difference.
very
Yeah.
big difference. Very big
Yeah,
difference.
so yeah, that's a good clarification. So not every single woman, guy is going to be like, "Oh, well done, and I'm proud of you,"
Yeah, and
because there's going to be
I'm
that
not gonna be like
reaction.
Niagara Falls with everyone. It
No.
it has to be that person who you know for a fact where it's coming from as well, and you're
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, I like that. Like I know with me and you, like we go, oh good girl, like that, and we go, oh yeah, you flirting with me and stuff like that. But it's not. We do that in a joking way. We do it in like a fun way, like the way we are with each other. But we don't go, oh God, let's get into bed.
No, I mean, we do get into
We
bed,
do
but
get
not
into
like
bed, but that's another
strictly
story.
platonic. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway.
don't know where to go from there.
Getting me a whole hot and flustered, I'm not gonna lie. I might need to take a quick drink break to get a bit more apple juice. Um, yeah, so we're gonna go to our BRB screen, guys, and when we come back, we will have some more stuff to talk about. Okay, bye. we're back.
You're back. That's
We,
good.
yes, we are back. Okay. So yeah, so we finished up the kink in the sense where obviously, um, a lot of people probably have it. A lot of people probably have it who, like being, should we say, like, hearing those affirmations. Um, and oh yeah, there's a lot of people out there, I think. I didn't know I had it. I genuinely didn't. Um, exactly. Like, yeah. Um, but yeah, so, that is our little kink of the week, or kink of the fortnight, should we say. Um, we did speak about this. Our little Janie baby. She loves the fortnight. But yeah, it kind of leans into what we're going to talk about next, and not necessarily sexual now. It's very different, should we say? Of the different love languages. Now, I only knew a few of them until recently when I learned about more. I did not know there was like five. I only thought there was like one or two.
Like 8, not more than 5.
I'm sure there's only five.
Let's have a look and we'll read them out, and then we can talk about. Because I know mine, but
Yeah, there's only five love
oh
languages.
no, there are 5.
Mm,
There are 5.
See, I did my homework.
Sorry. You did your
Um,
homework. Well done. I will let you off.
and I will go into the first one. The first one that obviously it's definitely one of my love languages, which is words of affirmation. Now,
Mhm.
and that's all about communication and someone encouraging me or just appreciating and listening to me and you know don't get me wrong, there's times when we not sometimes people don't listen to each other, and that's absolutely fine. That happens in every sort of partnership. um but just listening to like the little things. It's the little things that matter as well. And that's what I always say. It's like, oh my God, I remember
Yeah.
that you like 2 sugars in your coffee. And
Yeah.
I only told you once, but it's little things like that, and how you act on them as well. Like just like an unexpected action, an unexpected like little text, or just a little something to say, oh yeah, you've done really well, blah blah blah, or whatever it is, just like a little bit of appraisal.
So I agree. And I know that people usually have just one love language. I think I have a primary one, a secondary one. I think this is more of my secondary one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it is essential to have, but it's not like my main thing.
No.
And I think it can come in different forms. Like I think I struggle a lot if I'm in a relationship when I don't get text communication, or I have done in the past. And I think with that, I kind of not shut down a little bit, but I think this person doesn't like me because they're not messaging me, they're not saying nice things over message, they're not, they're not saying what I want to hear. But then it doesn't always have to sort of go down that route. I think when it's in person, it's a lot more. And I've learned this sort of getting older. I've learned this getting into my 30s that it's not always about having that communication virtually. When it's in person and it's said, it's a lot more heartfelt, and it's a lot nicer to receive. And I think now, it's making me it's made me realise that in person is a lot more important to me than it is over virtual
Yeah,
communication.
yeah.
If that makes
And
sense. That is equally important,
exactly.
but
And
it is
not
not as important.
recognizing or appreciating the effort is definitely a thing to avoid when you are with someone who do likes words of affirmation, who is like words of affirmation kind of driven. Just touching on Deuce's message, obviously he's doing a test on love languages, no idea what we're on about, and it makes him feel a little bit sick. That is not that is expected. Send the link into chat, please, D. That would be great,
Yeah.
Ducey.
Can you please? I will.
Because that would be great for anyone to do.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do it
I mean,
after
I
stream.
might do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, 'cause I think I know mine. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hey,
Um,
insubordinate.
hey,
Hey, thank you for that link. Anyone who wants to do that link while they're watching us, that's great.
yeah, please do.
choked on my own saliva. That's not great.
Yeah, please don't. But yeah, I think words of affirmation, I think it can be something really simple, or it can be an I love you, or it can be, you know, even an I like you. I don't know.
It
Words of
doesn't
affirmation are
have to
just
be
really
like that.
simple.
It could literally just be, um, even whether it's a text like,
Good
a,
morning text
a
for
good
me is
morning
a good
text,
word.
or just like, oh, I had a really good day today. Thank you for that. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like just
something after
just
your note
just
call.
just a little something something. That's all it is. I'm not expecting paragraphs. I'm not expecting you to send me love letters. I'm not expecting
No,
you to send me unexpected texts all the time where I'm gonna be like, oh my God. I don't no, it's not that. It's just I just like to be appreciated. And I like to be appreciated verbally. I have to hear it. But that like you said, you've got primary one, and this is kind of your secondary one. This would
yeah,
be my primary one, but I know for a fact I definitely have a secondary one, of something else.
yeah, me
And
too.
you know, I kind of it. I didn't realize until recently that it was that. Um, I thought it'd be completely different. I thought it'd be one of the others, but it's not.
Can
Um,
change with the people that you're with.
exactly.
Out of curiosity, because I would never have thought that. I think that the lack of having your love language can end relationships. I think one of the biggest things for me is, when and this goes for men as well, but when you spend so much time getting ready to go and see someone, or to go on a date or whatever, or even if you've been in a long-term relationship, you are doing that for yourself, yeah, but you have put so much time and effort into doing that. And I'm not saying again it's just girls, but from my perspective, you've spent money on makeup, clothes, new clothes, potentially hair, earrings. You then walk out for that person to not really notice or say anything, not to give you those words of affirmation of you look beautiful, or I like that dress, I like your hair. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think that can be the difference between, having a good night or not. I think that can completely ruin your night if you don't just get. And I'm not saying that I want somebody to call me beautiful, but just notice that I've put time and effort in,
Oh yeah, yeah. Just like,
and
oh,
say
did you get
something
your hair
about it.
done today? Or just, oh, you
Yeah,
look really pretty today. Like it just the slightest sort of like, oh my God, like they're kind of taking back the fact that you've curled your hair today, or you've put a bit more effort into your makeup, or you're wearing different lipstick, and it's little things like that. Like you notice those little things like, oh, I've got a new lipstick on and stuff like that. That makes me feel great because it's like you've noticed it, and and saying it as well is, you are affirming it and appreciating the effort that I've put in just to look a little bit nice for you. That's all it is. Um,
affirmation to me, you know.
so second love language, they don't go in any sort of particular order, but the ones that I've got, I love that. Before we go on to that, if people don't tell me I look pretty at least once a day, I become violent.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't need to be told every day because I already know that I'm a sexy bitch. Um,
You, when I come pick you up to kidnap you to take you out somewhere, and you get in the car, but like, you look so
you
pretty.
tell me
Like, oh,
every time. I know, I
I
know.
think because you've made an effort to come and meet me, and you look pretty, you look gorgeous, and I think you need to know that. And that's again, not we're not in a relationship, we're a friendship, but I
Exactly.
still think it's important.
It is important
And
just to
because it's
hear it from your
important to
friends.
me,
Yeah.
it's important to other people
Yeah,
potentially. So I
exactly,
always say
exactly.
that,
Um, so we're leaning.
unless you look like shit,
You would
then
still
you know.
tell me that I look pretty. But that leads into another one, which is physical touch. Now, yeah, this is definitely yours. Now, obviously, how to communicate, it says here, non-verbal use of body language and touch to show love. So obviously, things like hugs, kisses, cuddling, holding hands, just like, I don't know, little things when you're lying in bed, like your legs intertwining with each other, and hand holding, and just like, little things like that. And obviously, um to avoid any of that is, I mean, to any sort of actions to avoid would be like to obviously physically neglect that sort of feeling for your partner. Um, and shagging,
Shagging.
yeah,
I get that. Yeah.
can't
Oh, we love
forget,
each other in subordinate, but not in that way,
can't forget
unfortunately.
yeah, we do. Um, let's not go into the long windy road of me spooning you one night thinking you were somewhere else
I'm holding my
and
hand.
holding your hand and getting really disappointed.
Sorry about that.
um,
Uh,
but yeah,
But yeah, physical touch is massive for me. Like you can tell if not even if I'm in a relationship with someone, if I like someone and we've crossed that line, I will hold their hand. I will have my arm, my hand on their arm. I will have like I would want their arm around me. And I don't know what it is. I think it's a sense of security
yeah.
for me, a massive sense of security.
Like
And it
you want to
again,
touch me. Oh my God, you actually want to touch me.
and I want to touch them as
Hmm.
well. Like I don't know. It for a woman especially. I think you release certain, what is it called?
Endorphins,
It's not endorphins.
oxytocin.
Um, Oxytocin, like with physical touch, with skin to skin contact, and I think that might be it. I don't know, but I think when you're out in public as well, I think it's important to have someone give you that physical touch and be like, this person is with me and I'm with this person. And I
Yeah,
like
I
that as
I
well.
do.
Not that they're showing me off or I'm showing them off,
No, and
but
I get
it's
that.
like it's you're proud of each other and
You're not
you are
embarrassed.
like, yeah,
You're not
you're not embarrassed.
embarrassed.
I am
Yeah.
with this person. This
Um.
is my person. I am with this
Yeah.
person.
Or
Sorry,
just little things like you know, like if I'm with someone and walking down, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't expect that person to hold my hand all the time and stuff like that. Like I'm not a child. I don't need help crossing the road and stuff like that. And but if I go to link
I'm
you,
a I'm a
or if I go to link you, if I go to hold your hand while we're walking down the street or walking home or whatever it is, um, and you don't pull away, that's nice to me because that's like you want to be seen with me in that sense. Whereas if you were to kind of like brush it off and be like, oh God, no, then it kind of yeah, like what are you hiding? What's the secret? Um, but I am a very touchy feely person, and in the last 12 hours I did get told that for a very touchy feely person I am someone to roll to the other side of the bed when I want to go to sleep and just leave that other person alone because I like my own space. I like being a cuddly sleeper. Don't get me wrong, but I can't fall asleep. Like I can should we say relax and I can potentially doze off, but I wouldn't go into a deep sleep. I have to be curled up in my blanket with my arm under the pillow in my own little sort of cocoon. Um,
I want them on me. I want me on them or them on me. Not literally, but like
Yeah,
arm around
yeah,
me, arm
and that's
around me.
where we differ.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Mm,
know, I like the spoon and I like the hand holding the interlocking of fingers and stuff like that, and I like all that sort of things while we're in bed, but to fall asleep or in the middle of the night and you know they roll over and they give you a cuddle and stuff like that, and that's lovely. Um, but it's and that's sort of like a reassurance and that's great because you're touchy feely with this person, but they want to be like that with you. Um, but it's not necessarily
I
something
am
that is
there,
up
so
there for me. I wouldn't say that is one of my love languages.
oh, definitely for me. Like we'll fall asleep in the middle of the bed, and somehow, I'm saying we. I don't have a partner at the moment, but from what's happened in the past, fall asleep in the middle of the bed, and I will wake up on their side of the bed. There's so much of my side of the bed left, and I am just like arm around them. They've probably rolled over at some point to get some space. I've moved up, and that they have to deal with that. I'm afraid.
Yeah, and
Um,
yeah,
and you can't deal with it. You're not sleeping in a bed with me. I'm
well,
sorry. It's
that
just
that's what I mean, and that's absolutely fine. Like you know, I like that, and you know, and I tend to sleep next to someone who likes to sleep slap bang in the middle of the mattress. Um, and you know, this is my bed. Like this is where I starfish, and that's absolutely fine. But you need to move over. I need a bit of room. Like I don't want you on me. And also, in the nicest way possible, men are like hot water bottles. And on a cold winter's night, it's great. But in the
I
summer,
love that.
I'm sorry, no. I don't want you sweating
Very
on me.
disappointing.
I don't want to touch you. Like we can do stuff and blah 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 and all that, and that's great. But once it's done, leave me alone. It's too hot. You are like a hot water
If
bottle.
it's too hot, then you are still at least you know, our feet are together, or we're holding hands, or
Yeah,
our
yeah,
arms are together, or something. There has to be
something touching.
some physical touch when I'm sleeping. And for a person who is now single and sleeping on my own,
Mm.
I can do it. I can do it, but I never feel as cozy. I never feel as secure. I never feel as safe. And I think that's what I need a partner to do for me, is to make me feel cozy, secure, and safe.
Yeah,
And that's maybe the main thing of physical touch
yeah.
for me, is I always feel secure and safe. And I don't necessarily mean that in a sense of an intruder. I mean that in a sense of safe and secure in my relationship,
Mhm, mhm.
or safe and secure that that person wants me and wants to be there
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
I don't know.
And
That's my love
it's
language. I'm
it's
very passionate.
yeah, and the little things of being reassured, like a little kiss here and there, or a little cuddle and stuff like that, and that's enough reassurance for me physically. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's
Things I can do, and I know that I think someone's done this to you, is to lean in, tuck your hair behind your ear, give you a kiss.
oh yeah,
How amazing is that? And
just
it's the smallest of things,
just
but it's like
a little hand on the face, and they just
something
look at
like
you,
that. Mm.
smile, and then carry on with what they're doing. They don't even have to kiss
Yeah,
me. Just a little sort of
yeah,
like, oh my God, a little bit of oh, and that makes you feel great because it makes you feel like, oh my God, they like me being here or they like me being around, and yeah,
it does.
you never outstay your welcome, obviously, but it's just little things of just a little bit of reassurance, and that's lovely, and that's it's always good. It always makes you feel all gibby inside. It's you're not human if it doesn't, or you're not into that sort of thing if it doesn't. Before anyone comes back with a sarcastic comment, um, we know who we're talking about. Um, but yeah,
Sorry,
it's
none of them.
um, it's definitely up there, but it's not one of mine, and I always thought it would be, because I am a
Mhm.
touchy-feely person, but it's definitely not one of mine.
I mean, I think I have been in relationships where it's not been their thing, and I have struggled.
Hmm.
I have struggled a lot. Walking down the street holding hands was sort of the baseline of one of my relationships, and in public. And I'm not saying I want to be snogged and bite my face off in
Yeah,
public or anything like that, because I don't
no,
agree with being out in like a pub per se, and proper like
yeah, no, no, no,
snogging face.
no,
Some little bits here and there, like I said, arm touching, things like that.
yeah,
But
just an
I've
arm
never
around
really,
an arm around the back of the chair while you sat next to them, and just little things like
exactly,
that.
not even physically touching you,
Hmm.
but it seems a bit territorial, I suppose. But maybe I like that. Maybe I like that
Maybe.
side of it. I don't know. Maybe it's a not that they own me, because that'll never happen.
No.
But they are my protector, and I kind of like the idea of that. Maybe I'm a bit old school and traditional with that.
Yeah, I like knowing if someone's protective of me. Not necessarily
I know
territorial,
excessive.
not necessarily obsessively protective. Like just a little bit like, oh, just walk on this side of the path because we're about to go past someone who looks a bit dodgy, or
Yeah,
just little things like that. Hi, JC.
I like a guy.
Welcome.
Hi, Jason. I like a guy who makes me walk on the other side of the pavement. He walks on the
Yeah,
pavement.
that's what I mean.
That's not physical touch. So I need to shush.
Um, yeah,
I
well,
think JC should take the love languages test and let
you
us know
should
what he comes
take the
back with.
test,
Some
JC,
people,
and let us know. And Deuce, if you know what yours is, please let us know so we can talk about it. Um, we'll go on to the third one now, in the list, which is receiving gifts. This is
Mhm.
definitely not on my, because I'm not a
No,
materialistic person. I know you're not, but don't be wrong. Like thoughtfulness, making your partner, spouse, whatever priority, um, and just that's how you kind of communicate. And it's like, oh, I went to the shop today and I seen this little thing and it made me think of you, so I bought it for you. That's fine. That's great. Um, doesn't surprise me, Deuce. It doesn't surprise me. But yeah, just like obviously little thoughtful gifts, little thoughtful gestures, expressing sort of like what do you call it, like gratitude when you receive a present from them. Um, just like I know for a fact that I'm a giver, so
I'm a giver of
I'm a
gifts.
giver of
I like to be
gifts.
thoughtful
I'm
with my gifts, but don't
Yeah,
expect
like
anything.
I don't ever expect anything back, but like for example, I'll be in the shop or whatever, and I'll pick up like I don't know, or like one of the little things that I recently bought and not given yet, but it's like just like a little silly something stupid that's like got a little message on it or whatever, but it's just something. It made me think of you, so that's why I got it. And just little things like that. But that's not me having a love language of receiving gifts because I don't care if I get anything back. I just want to know
Really
that
doing with
you like it.
yeah. I've never really been with anyone who appreciates that side of me either. Like I can be quite thoughtful with gifts, and I'll think quite a lot into it, or I will be like the kind of person, well, this person likes this, so I'll get it. And I've given it, and they've been like, thanks, and I'm like, mm,
Mm.
right then. And I think it would seem that that would be my love language, but I think that's my projected love language. I want people to appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then when they don't, I get a bit disheartened. So maybe I just shouldn't do that again then. But I'll always continue to do it because that's just my personality and how
yeah.
I am.
And like JC said, like thoughts cost nothing.
100%.
How do you know we're not?
Wow.
Wow.
Um,
Um,
unfortunately for me, she doesn't have an appendage that I require in
Same.
most of my relationships. Not all.
We thought you had
Not
one. I felt for it the other day and it wasn't there, so it kind of let me down. Sorry.
sorry about that.
Um,
Yeah.
ship it. Thanks.
Um,
Wee.
so
Um,
maybe one day, but
maybe.
we're in a platonic relationship. We love each other,
We
but
do, we do, and
an asexual relationship.
um, yeah, but obviously, things to avoid when, if you've got love language of receiving gifts, there's obviously unenthusiastic gift receiving or forgetting special occasions. If someone forgets my birthday, or if someone forgets, say, Valentine, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Valentine's Day lover.
Mm.
Never have been. But if someone forgets to just send me like a little message or whatever on the day, I'm not expecting flowers, I'm not expecting chocolates or cards or anything like that. Just a little message, a silly little picture or whatever it is. It's just something like that. If you're unenthusiastic about it, or if you're gonna forget those sort of special occasions, um, mm, it's yeah.
See, again, that doesn't bother me. I know it sounds so stupid because it sounds like I'm lying. I don't care. Like, if I
You
then
don't.
remind you and you're not like, oh, happy birthday, then that's a bit different.
I
But if
don't want to remind my uh,
significant other,
my significant person or that whoever when my birthday is. Like, don't get me wrong, if they don't know it, they genuinely don't know it, and you've only been seeing them for a certain amount of time, that's fine. Like, I will tell you when my birthday is. If you've got a shit memory, put it in your phone.
the
Um,
shit with dates, I know your birthday because I've made sure to memorize your birthday for that reason because I am shit. But like I'll forget things. I think because I forget things, I'm a bit more lenient with other people forgetting things.
mhm. I'm
Like we don't
always a
go out
I'm always a birthday rememberer.
anything.
I'm always like,
Mm.
if I have someone close to me that I know when their birthday is, I put it in my phone, put it on my calendar, whatever. I know when it is. I'll see what day it's on so that I can either drop something off at them or send them something in the post or whatever it is, or make plans. And I'll be like, oh, on that day, I'm child free, so let's go and get a drink or whatever it is. And do you know what I mean? Just like little things like that.
A
Um,
lot more thoughtful to do when it comes to birthdays and things like that. And
mhm.
I don't mean to be forgetful, and I don't mean to, maybe not buy presents or forget to bring presents. Or like I still got Jade's birthday present from like a couple of months ago. I've still got it here. I see her all the time. She still hasn't got it. But I thought about it. I'm so forgetful. It's unreal, and I think that maybe makes me a bit more lenient with other people forgetful
Yeah,
gifts.
and
Or if I don't get a gift, because I don't care.
yeah,
I'm not
I don't
expecting
even care about getting just the presents, like in the sense where not presents like gifts, like presents. Like,
people
if
being
you
there.
turn
Yeah,
up to my house just to spend a few hours with me, that's all I want. That's
I
lovely.
mean, I do that anyway.
Like, I mean, yeah, you do that anyway, but like what I mean is it doesn't matter who you are. If you text me and go, oh, do you want to do something this afternoon? Having that bit of company, or like, I'm free for a few hours, let's go and get a coffee. It's, just little things like that, and that's what I like, because it's like I'm not expecting a present, I'm not expecting a card or anything like that. Just just a bit of time. But that also leans into quality time, which is another love language, and this,
What
I
you
would
don't understand,
say,
just like what
is
you
my
just said.
second one.
Okay, sorry. sorry to just. I really like what JC said there
Go on.
because I am quite forgetful. He said nothing wrong with being forgetful. No one is perfect, but make some effort when you find out you forgot something, and that is what I will do. And I think that is very important.
Yeah.
I just really wanted to
Oh no,
bring
no,
that
no.
up
I,
before
I
we
I
move on.
did say it,
So,
but yeah. Obviously, yeah. It
quality
it is
time.
always important to make a bit effort. When you've forgotten something, if it's meant something, and things like that. That's 100%, 100%. Um, but yeah, going into what I would say is my sort of like my other love language apart from words of affirmation is definitely quality time.
So
And
would you
I've
say this is your main one?
hmm?
Your main one.
My main one would probably be words of affirmation, but
Okay.
my
50-50.
quality time is like my second. Um,
Okay.
and it'd probably be only them two because, and I only learnt this as of lately. Now, I never thought I'd ever be someone that would want to have focused conversations and kind of like one-on-one time all the time. Not all the time, but like a lot of the time. And I find one-on-one time is important. Yeah, you can be in a group of friends and you can be out together with other people and stuff like that. But then as soon as you're alone together, that's quality time and that's you can kind of like you can have those little special moments together. You can whether it's go on a walk, whether you're going to the shop together, whether you're just going to go for a drink together, or just do little small things with that person. That's important. They're those like sort of important actions to take. One of my favorite things is, even if you just sat there watching something together and you curled up on the sofa, you're getting comfortable or whatever, and you're watching just shitty background TV together, you're on your phones or whatever it is, and you're just chilling, and you're in each other's company. Um, if you're getting distracted a lot of the time, and or you go a long time without that one-on-one time, um, I mean, obviously people have situations that come up and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. But when you get back together and you have that one-on-one time, it's always important to make sure that you're giving that person your attention. Um, and I've never had one-on-one time recently when I've felt like I've been neglected. I've never walked away and gone, oh God, didn't really pay much attention to me. I'm not that type of person anyway, but I've never felt like that. You've gone quiet.
Just. Oh,
Oh,
I'm
there we
back.
go. You're back.
Oh yeah. I can have just as much of like a good loving time with someone when we're out with friends. And I think that might be the physical touch element of
Yeah.
it. If I'm getting that throughout the night, then I feel like we've had a connection, we've had not necessarily intimacy, and I don't think quality time is about intimacy per se. Like so, it's about that one-on-one time,
Mm.
and I do like it. But I think for me, I've been in a 14-year relationship where that was quite scarce, and that was through no fault of either of us. But the majority of time we spent together was around other people or around our child, and we didn't
Mm.
get much time to spend just one-on-one. So I think it's something I've grown used to. Like more recently, you know, if I can't have one-on-one time, maybe I'm just not used to it. Maybe it's something that I need to not get into, but get more of to
Yeah.
know whether or not it's important to me. But
It's
I
not
can just
everyone's
be
cup of tea,
yeah.
obviously.
I
Um,
can be out with a person or a partner with everybody else in a group setting and still feel like I'm getting the validation and the love that I need and the special moments that I need. It doesn't have to necessarily be one to one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And if that other person feels comfortable in front of those people that you're with, like you've got mutual friends or wherever it is, and they feel comfortable to put their arm around you, or they kind of, have, be like kind of not 100% touchy feely with you, but just a little bit, just a hand on the leg or something like that. Just that makes you feel wanted, and it makes you feel like they're not embarrassed to do that in front of people. And that,
Yeah, or I mean, I don't know if this qualifies as quality time. If you're out, say, at a party or a night out, loads of friends, but they take time to just have a conversation with you away from everybody else.
yeah, that would be quality time,
That I appreciate.
100%.
That I appreciate. So maybe it's not definitely my love language, but it's something I appreciate
Hmm.
because it shows that you're all out with your mates, but they've gone. You know what? No, want to check in with this person and make sure they're okay. That's what I appreciate.
Yeah.
Which is more words of affirmation. I don't know.
Yeah, I
It
don't know.
kind
It kind of links in with each other, to be fair. Um, but yeah, it's definitely up there. I do appreciate it. You know, when I get it, and that's absolutely fine. Um, in
So
subordinate.
hmm, how often does it need to be for you? I think we're all of them at once. Yeah, yeah. You
Um,
can have more than one.
it it doesn't have to be all the time.
Mhm.
You know, if I see that person once a week, once a fortnight, it's absolutely fine because I know for a fact when I spend time with that person that, you know, we spend a good few hours together, we do things together,
Genuinely.
we're not, you know, should we say, distracted by people outside of the bubble. Yeah, okay, we get the odd text and stuff of other people, and or we'll get you know, involved on games night while we're under the same roof and stuff like, and that's absolutely fine. Um, because you're still together, you still, you know, you're still spending that quality time together, you're not away from each other. And that I've always liked that. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel wanted, I feel needed, um, I feel validated in the sense where I'm not being told to like get out or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, if someone turned around to me and go on, you need to fuck off now, I'd be like, yeah, okay, fine. I'm not saying my
Yeah.
welcome. But yeah, I'd never feel like that. And if I did,
Hmm.
I'd probably say it, but you know, I never have. I never have. That person always makes me feel like I'm wanted around, which is nice.
Good. Well, that's what you need.
Exactly. Um, gay.
Wait.
Sorry,
Oh,
Whew, it came out. But yeah. The last one is acts of service. Now, I didn't even know this was a love language.
okay.
Um, but
Explaining it to the peoples then, because it's probably not one of the more obvious
yeah.
speaks for itself.
So, you know, people, anyone listening, anyone, you know, just kind of like getting in conversation or whatever, just like little things like, you know, whether say you're upstairs, you're doing the dishes or whatever, and you know, you let that person know you need a bit of help doing this, you know, just to lighten the load that they've got to do, or if someone makes you breakfast in bed or makes you dinner, goes, you know what, are you hungry? I'm hungry. I'm gonna go upstairs, make something to eat. I've said upstairs automatically. I'm gonna go into the kitchen, make something to eat, and go out, you know, just go out of your way to help with like chores, little things like that. That's obviously acts of service, but like if you're lacking to, should we say, follow through on like the small tasks, like taking dishes into the kitchen after you've used them and things like that. Like I always try to make sure that I take my cup up. I might not take everything up. I might take my cup to the kitchen or whatever, or or the plates out or whatever it is, and it's just little things like that, you know, or I make the bed, or you know, just little things. And I think like that is important because it's kind of like they've, should we say, they've hosted you for the evening or whatever. It's just a little bit of repaying the favor, should we say. Quiet again.
Service. Oh,
Yeah, there we
can you hear me?
go. Yeah.
To me, acts of service, you know, with the relationship I've been for the past 14 years, is just a given to me because you live together, the chores are split. It's not somebody doing something for me. It's, you know, you having equal claim of the chores. And I mean, I did, yeah, sure, I liked it when you cooked for me and whatever, but I never really saw that as a love language or an act of service. But maybe, you know, going forward into the big wide world of dating, maybe I'll find that I do like those things, or maybe I'll find that I'm lacking those things. But if I had a guy around and he started doing chores, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop. Like, you know,
And
it's my thing to do, you
yeah,
know. But
exactly. And like
uh,
Deuce has just said, it is just
yeah,
normal, polite human behavior, and it is.
yeah,
It is. But as some people would know, I'm I'm not the type of person to just sit there one day, I'll be in like a friend's house or whatever, and go, I really want to dust your TV unit. Do you know what I mean? Like I only do that
you
to
must
people
have
that I
this.
care about and stuff like that. I only feel like I can do that with people that I'm really close with, because
Yeah,
if I don't, I wouldn't just do it to anyone. I'm sorry, but if your house is a mess, your house is a mess. If you're not in my close circle, that's on you, bro. Um,
yeah, true.
but you know, I always try and make like, oh, do you want me to help you clean up one day, or you know, or little things like yeah, I will actually just I'll do that for you because it is polite, but I'll only yeah. Like don't get me wrong, if I go to anyone's house and they give me food or give me drink, I will make sure that I take that stuff to the kitchen. Like obviously, I do that to anyone. That is just polite behavior.
But that's house and I have a kebab. I can't take mine to the kitchen because you're already up doing it before I even get off my seat.
That's
It's
an
so
OCD
ridiculous.
thing for me though.
I'll smoke at your house and I'll throw my fags in the back and I'll be like, I'll sweep them up in the morning. You're like, no, leave them. And I think, I offer to do it, but you're like, nah. But if I was, say, in a relationship with you, would you want me to do that or would you still be the same?
I'd
Do you
probably
know what I
still be
mean?
the same. Like, but
Oh,
then I'd
that's what
probably
I'm like.
expect you to maybe go out of your way to make sure you do it in the morning. If you say the thing is when you're in a relationship, if you
Will
say, "Oh
do.
yeah, I'll sort that in the morning," and I go, "Oh no, no, it's fine, leave it," you'd be like, "Actually, no, just out of politeness, I am gonna go and do it."
Oops, that's where I've been going wrong.
All the fag butts in my yard right
So I'll
now.
make sure to do it next time.
Yeah,
But no,
yeah,
I just find it like if you were at my house, I wouldn't expect you to lift a finger. That's my personal thing, but I think that's what I've been brought up with. But that's because you don't come to my house as often, I suppose. Maybe because I'm more comfortable at yours, I should be doing more stuff. I don't know.
yeah,
I know where things
yeah,
for
and
you are.
you know what? That
Like I know
that's
we're not in a
and
relationship. I'm
I
just
don't know
using
what
this
it
as
is
an
though. It's like when people come here, um, and there's only really two people apart from my family who do come here, sometimes, and you obviously are one of them. You know, I am automatically um one of those people to, oh, we finished eating, right? Okay, let me go and put these in the kitchen because I can't sit watching them on the floor.
get
Um,
kebab out my mouth. I'm like,
yeah, yeah, like if you are you done? Are you done? Can I put that in the bin? But whereas if I'm in somebody else's and they decide to put the plates on the floor for a bit, and that's absolutely fine, like leave them there. But if I'm gonna go and get up and go to the bathroom or go to the kitchen to go and sort something, I'm gonna take them with me if I remember to do
yeah,
it.
no.
But yeah, it is all the freebies, JC. All the like, manners cost nothing. Like it is just polite human behavior, and it's absolutely fine. Um, you know, I don't expect
I like
guests
that.
to clean,
No.
but it is nice to have an offer, and I completely agree. It's not required, um, but if someone was to say, "Oh yeah, I'll do that," that's absolutely fine. Yeah, do it. Like,
Again, we've got on a bit of a tangent with guests, haven't we? This is more sort of when it comes to a partner, isn't
yeah,
it? So maybe it's completely different.
maybe, um,
Yeah,
maybe, but yeah. So that was a little bit of a tangent, a bit of a long one tonight, hasn't it? But
yeah.
yeah, love languages, everyone.
Um,
If you do end up finding out what your love language is, I expect my guests to clean my home for me. It's the price they pay for having my fantastic company. Would not expect anything different from you, Deuce, at all. Um, but yeah, um, if anyone does decide to go and spend some time with our lovely double D, make sure you take your mop and bucket and
maybe
dust a
not.
feather because you no
I'm joking.
because because you will be cleaning up for him because he has hosted you.
Mhm.
But yeah, um, partners are guests when they don't live together. Maybe
Agreed. It depends on how serious you get, I suppose.
maid outfits a must. Apparently,
Yeah, it's talking about the male guests, obviously.
obviously. Um,
Feather duster on special one. Exactly, Jason. That's the added bonus on certain
yeah,
weekends.
I only get my feather duster out on special occasions. Um, But yeah, so does anyone else have anything to add to our little love language? If anyone out there has found out what their love language is and does want to tell us privately, off stream, or wherever, please let us know. That would be great. I would like to know, because I am a nosy bitch, as
Same.
everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Yeah,
Um,
please email us in some suggestions for topics as well.
please,
We'll always look
please.
at them, but we do like to
Um,
hear what you hear about.
And within the
Um,
next 2 weeks, we will be looking for our guest star. So for our first guest star in 2 weeks' time, um, yeah, we will be looking for something to speak with them about. as
And
well.
before we go, Bams, I do have a question for you. I don't know if you've prepared one for me this week, but
Oh,
well, I just came up with it, so
go on.
I want to know what you would do if you were a guy for a day.
I would helicopter my dick.
I knew you were going to say that. I absolutely knew you were going to say that.
I would love to stand there and just go, woo!
And you-
Yeah! And also, I'd go for a piss.
Yeah, the piss thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wee standing up. It's not fair.
I mean, you could. It'd just be very messy.
Very messy, and only do it in the shower.
Yeah. You know, I'd want to walk down a dark road at night and see if I feel any less scared.
That's a
You know
dark
what I mean?
turn on that one, yeah.
Walk past some builders and see if they would leave me. Do you know that kind of like
Wolf
see
whistle.
what the actual difference is
Yeah,
between like
yeah,
being down
yeah.
and public, yeah, sort of weird things like that. Try and chat a woman up, see if I'm any good at it.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
I'd
mean?
love to try and do that.
Yeah, I think I'd have some riz. I think I'd be like,
I'd be dead busy.
but do you never know? You never know.
You never know.
Oh.
But yeah, that's it for this week, everyone. Thanks for joining us on our lovely tangent of bitching about absolute shite and talking about love languages and kinks, and open relationships. It was, I think.
And fluffy jammy. Don't forget our fluffy jammy chat.
We
That's,
did have our little fluffy jammy chat as well. But yeah, thanks to anyone who stopped by.
Our unofficial guest star.
Zeus is
Mr.
always
Zeus.
welcome.
He will always be making an appearance. on
Always,
Welcome.
always,
So,
always, always. But yeah. So thanks to anyone who watched. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, bitches.
Funhouse active, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the fast lit, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down. I keep it 100, they crunching the numbers, I'm getting wild. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, then I just leave impression. Next to rain on the window pane, puffin' plain Jane. Let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin. Whip the wheels, let the horses just spin. Why they trash, another chore on my list. Out of this orbit, I saw with the pen. I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit. I sipped the potion and poured it in. I on the tide when she poured it. Opportunity, knock at the door, then I grin. They rush for the doors, then they open like bliss. Pin stroke, game cold as the fridge. Sound wave for like more than the clicks.